Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome. Hello, Pasolivo family. It's Eleanor, and we are here with another Pasolivo kitchen cuisine. This time we are going to be working with Chef Kyle from Amy and Jamie's Place, and I am very excited for this because he's got 3 different things he's going to be doing, and he is bringing in a lot of spice. Hey, so looking forward to seeing how he pulls it all together. I'm going to see if and he's going to handhold us through 3 different ways of using our spiciest stuff. Hey, hello.
Hi guys.
Hi. Welcome.
Can you see us?
We can see Chef Kyle. Hi, Chef Kyle. That's what's important, right? There we go. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us. We're here to celebrate a very important weekend, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Just kidding. Happy birthday, Presidents. I think there's another day involved in this weekend. I just can't remember what it was.
I think George Washington's birthday is coming up also.
There's a bunch of birthdays. Oh right, Valentine's Day.
There you go.
That's what it was. And you are bringing the heat, so we're about to get hot in here.
There you go.
Gosh, if I just brought in a Nelly lyric, I'll really just. It's going to be an issue for me for the rest of the weekend. Okay, so you are using our chimichurri, our ghost pepper salt, our sriracha salt, our garlic jalapeno stuffed olives, and our red jalapeno extra virgin olive oil. And I'm glad that you're doing this because people see the ghost pepper, sea salt, and they say, whoa, okay, how do you use this? And I'm like, I'm a weenie. When I see heat, I don't know what to do with it. So you're here to tell me, okay, what do you do with it? Which, thank you.
Well, basically, when you add anything that has heat to it, it all depends on whether you're cooking for yourself or whether you're cooking for a group of people. You want to always consider the taste buds of the people who are eating the food. If it was for me, I'd go all out straight heat. But because it's for other people, it's more about getting the flavor of the heat, not the actual heat itself. So although it says spicy, it's very, very mild, but it has that good flavor that you get from good spices.
Okay, I do like that concept because there are some really great flavors involved in that sriracha salt, in that ghost pepper salt. It isn't just a sign a waiver, do it on a dare kind of thing. It is a really good addition to any meal. So it makes sense that you're really kind of honing in on that flavor profile versus the actual heat.
Oh, yeah.
So you've been with Amy and Jamie's Place for, how long have you been with them now?
I've been here for close to 2 months.
Oh, nice.
But I've been cooking for like 30 years. It's a real passion of mine. It's something that I really enjoy because I feel like that's my way of bringing happiness to people. Like when you can put love and comfort into your food and you feed it to the people, that same energy you put into the food is what they take out of it when they eat. So I think it works out, you know.
That's absolutely, I definitely feel that. I definitely feel like you can feel the heart when you are tasting some really good food. You can tell there's love put into it, and you can tell that there's time and effort put into it. So that, yeah, it is, I mean, it's an artwork, definitely. Every time that I've worked with a chef, I am standing back watching the passion, and I'm just amazed by it. It is like watching an artist paint. It's beautiful. So watching you guys pull stuff together and like shocking us all with how to do something, making it look so simple, definitely a skill. So where do you want to start? I mean, we've got puttanesca, spaghetti, like a pasta, right? Spaghetti, and then we've got a chicken dish, which can sound daunting, but you say it's simple.
It is. It's really simple.
And then the bruschetta. I saw pictures of the bruschetta, and it looked amazing. So where do you want to start?
I think maybe our best way to go is let's start with the chicken. Since you say it sounds daunting, let me show you exactly how easy it is.
Okay. And so while he's pulling stuff together, guys, this is such a fantastic bundle. Anybody who likes a little kick in their food, this is a great way of tossing it in little mini ways, whether it's the olive oil, the salt, a little bit of garnish here and there. So this bundle, hop onto our website, grab it, and then rewatch this, follow along, cook with us, or don't cook with me, cook with Chef Kyle. That's a hot mess if you cook with me, but cook with Chef Kyle.
Okay,
all right,
first,
so what you got?
we'll start with the chicken thighs. First, I'll put them in here, and I'll add a little bit of the jalapeno olive oil to start it off so the spice will stick to it. Then add a little bit of salt.
And that's just a general kosher salt that you're using?
Yeah, just kosher salt.
Got it.
A little cracked black pepper. And then you add a little red pepper. That's going to be your underlying spice. Little oregano. All general Italian flavors.
Got it.
Little basil. And then you want to add the Sriracha salt on top of all of that, because that's going to be one of the first flavors to hit your tongue.
Got it. Okay. So you're adding some Sriracha salt in with some Italian flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, then you want to get a little bit of garlic. Like I said, it sounds daunting, but it's really super simple. But it's so worth it. The flavor's extraordinary.
I mean, I bet already it smells really good. So we haven't even gotten to the cooking part.
Okay. Then you want to add a little bit more of your jalapeno olive oil on top.
And that red jalapeno, we released it last year, but it sold out. And so it took until the end, like December, January, to get this going and out there again, because people have fallen in love with it so much. And again, I'm not super big on heat. I wish I could. I need to develop that palate, let's put it that way. But I love this because of the flavor. It comes out with this beautiful kind of pepper flavor before you ever get that heat. So even those of you who are a little scared, definitely try it. It's worth it. It's got that beautiful heat to it, but it's got a great flavor.
You want to put your oven on like 375. Stick your chicken in there. It's boneless, skinless, so it should take longer than like 35, 40 minutes.
Did you stir it up or anything, or just load everything on?
No, you just let the oil cook down, and or the oil will go through the spices, and the spices will go through the chicken. It's just a nice roast. It's really good.
So what kind of, like a Pyrex? What kind of vehicle are we using?
You can use Pyrex, you can use steel, whatever. If you're cooking at home, I would go with the Pyrex just because it's a little bit better. You can get a good look at it. It also looks better presentation-wise. If you're in a restaurant and you're doing more, you want to, of course, go with your classic hotel pans or your half pans, whatever. But I think that'll work.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Then I guess we should do the bruschetta.
Ooh.
Just a regular spaghetti.
I think that for a lot of us, bread is a love language. So this is right there, you know, in the Valentine's mood. Bread is definitely a love language. Bread, cheese, wine.
I wouldn't, to cut down on your time, I wouldn't cut them any more than maybe a quarter or half inch thick. but you don't really want them like crostinis. You don't want them too thin, but they're too crispy. You want them to be kind of crispy on the outside, but you still have the bread, the nice soft touch on the inside. It's all about combining textures. After you cut your bread, you throw it on your sheet pan or in your Pyrex dish, whatever you want to use. So also on this, what I'll do is I'll do a touch of the jalapeno olive oil just on top of the bread to give it a little toasty flavor.
Nice.
And then you want to add just a little bit of garlic again. As you can see, garlic's going to go in a little bit of everything.
I love garlic. That makes sense. And if you're eating it as a couple, as long as everybody's eating it, you're good. And it's good for you. It's good for your heart. So, you know,
Exactly.
taking care of everybody here.
With your garlic, you want to put a little bit on each. Because what you're going to do is while you're toasting the bread, you're also going to toast your garlic. And that's a unique flavor in itself. Okay. Then you want to put your bread in the oven. Keep brown your garlic. While that's happening, you can cut your tomatoes for your topping.
And what was the oven on? Is that the same that the chicken was
It's
on?
the same setting. It's still on 400.
Perfect. Okay. Everything in there. Toss
Doing
it.
everything in the same oven because typically a lot of people at home, everybody doesn't have two ovens or you don't want to cut it up and down. You get one consistent temperature. You just have to cook everything in stages.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we all wish we had a few ovens, but that is.
Find the more ovens you have, the more you cook.
So are you dicing those tomatoes?
Yes, I'm sorry. Dicing tomatoes.
And any specific, like Roma, or does it matter?
Roma's the best, especially if you're doing a bruschetta. The flavor of the Roma is typically better. You can use other tomatoes. Like if you have a tomato garden, I would go with whatever you have in your garden. Those are always the best tomatoes. But if you're buying, I would go with Romas.
So if you're just joining us, he's making a bruschetta. That means that he's got the bread, he sliced it up, he put some red jalapeno olive oil on there, he's put some garlic on there, he's toasting it up, and now he's slicing and dicing tomatoes to put on top of it. So it's going to have that crunchy, warm, and then that fresh pop.
I'm sorry you can't smell.
So are we. So are we. I mean,
The
all of those
people,
smells.
the people upstairs keep coming down going, okay, you guys are killing us. What are you cooking? I started early this morning on this dish.
Oh,
It's amazing.
Okay, after you get your tomatoes going, then you want to once again a little more garlic.
mm.
You want to go a little smaller with it than you did on your actual bread because this is going to stay raw. But you're going to mix it in with the tomatoes and the chimichurri.
Haha, the chimichurri's coming in.
Little basil.
Boop.
Okay.
So these two goodies are on the bruschetta, the chimichurri and the red jalapeno. So for those of you who are kind of checking in, okay, chimichurri, I think that for steak. Now it's going on to bruschetta. What is in a chimichurri? So we have a dried chimichurri seasoning. So you can add it to our olive oil to put it on a steak or on veggies. Works great in rice and you know, stir it into beans. Oregano, basil, parsley, thyme, salt, paprika, onion, pepper, savory, garlic, chili, and bay. So it's got a little kick to it with that chili, but it's that ingredient at the very end, so it's not too crazy. So it's just got a great amount of flavor. As you know, if you've ever purchased any of the seasonings from us, you know how fresh they are. You know how bright they are. It's not one of those seasonings that's been sitting in the warehouse somewhere and takes forever to get to the front of the aisle at the store. It is something that we're getting monthly sometimes, and getting it straight out to the customers, all bagged up and jarred up for you. So there are bag forms, there are jar forms. It's up to you guys what you buy. But if you really like it, my suggestion is get the bag because it's a better deal. It's a nice big bag. And trust me, you are going to be using it a ton. So the chimichurri is something that I use in a lot of different ways. But I love this idea of stirring it in with the tomatoes and the garlic for the top of a bruschetta. Okay, so I've been talking. What else have you got going on?
After I added the garlic and the chimichurri, I added some fresh basil.
Yum.
Mix it up. Got a little bit of jalapeno, the red jalapeno olive oil in it. I'll let this marinate till I'm ready for the bread. Chex bread. Almost.
I love how you're playing with the flavors. This is not the traditional kind of thought process on red jalapeno. It's not the traditional thought process on the chimichurri. So you're kind of like blowing my mind in the best way possible. I love this idea.
Well, I'm just one of those. I don't like the traditional everything. I'm all about flavor profiles. Like, people always say, "Oh, I don't like this or I don't like that." But if you have it combined with the right flavors, you'll be surprised at what you actually like.
This job has definitely taught me that. I saw somebody making rosemary chocolate chip cookies with our rosemary olive oil, and that just like blew my mind. These flavors that pair up, it's really intriguing to see how that happens.
I'll give that a couple more minutes. While that's going, I'll start with a quick little marinara sauce. The Puttanesca sauce is basically marinara sauce with a few lively things added to it. Capers, anchovies, red peppers, olives, garlic. All stuff that when you hear it, once again, you're like, hey, does that go together? But when you put it all together, it's a beautiful dish. The man who actually taught me how to make it, it was a chef in Fort Worth, Texas, and he taught me that the Puttanesca gets its name from the Italian red light district, and the hookers late at night would be looking for something to eat, and they come to the restaurants, and basically the restaurants took whatever they would have, they wouldn't really have to do much, so they throw some marinara sauce, throw some capers, some olives, anchovies, throw it all together, whip it up, and give it to them. And they enjoyed it.
It's actually one of the dishes that I order every time I go to Italian. So I don't know what that says about me, but I had heard that background as well, and I'm leaning in. I think that's a really cool background story, and that, you know, the fact that it started as kind of toss everything in, and then now it's become just a delicacy because it is something that involves so many different flavors that it's work. There's a lot more work put into it than some of the other kind of lighter styles of pasta, but it means that you're getting so much more flavor.
To make this spicy marinara, all you have to do is just chop an onion. You don't really have to dice it because you actually want more flavor of the onion. You want the onion whole. You want to be able to see the onion. So you want to put maybe a whole onion, unless you're doing more. Then you can do, 4, 6, whatever. But I'm just doing a small amount for you guys to see. A couple of bay leaves. Now with the marinara itself, I don't add the jalapeno, but I'll add that when I actually make the actual puttanesca.
Got it. So could we cheat and buy a marinara and then add stuff as well?
Well, of course you can. If that's what you choose to do, that's the easiest way to do it. I just, I don't know. Once you learn to make a really good sauce, it's like you almost refuse to buy it anymore.
I'm sure that would be the case. I do know that Pasolivo has a really good marinara sauce that tastes like someone found an Italian grandma and made her make it for you. So if you guys want to cheat, go ahead and grab some. Put that in your basket as well as this bundle.
I would have known you guys had marinara. I might have tried it. I would have tried that also. Maybe next time.
Next time you're in, absolutely.
A little salt, pepper, red pepper flakes. A little more olive oil. Fresh garlic. And then you'll let all that simmer till your onions are pretty much translucent. And then you'll add, we had a can of diced tomatoes, you can do crushed tomatoes, whatever you like. You can do fresh tomatoes. I mean, it's all up to you and the flavors you want to create. All right. Now it's time to take now you got a nice brown color on your garlic.
Yum. See, I'd be down with eating it just like that. I'm good. We're done. Show's over.
All right, then you want to add just a little bit of shredded Parmesan.
So you're just piling like a tablespoon?
Yeah, right about a tablespoon. Depends on the size of your bread. This is a smaller baguette, so about a tablespoon works perfectly.
And do you want to put it on when it's warm, or do you want to wait until it's cool, or does it matter?
I like to put it on when it's warm, just because that gives a chance for that flavor also to get drawn down into the bread a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. Okay.
Some people, you can actually put it back in the oven if you want to. Some people do that, but I prefer not to, because your warm tomatoes can get a little messy and not really taste the way you want them to. They'll change the flavor. And then to finish it off, you add just a little bit of mozzarella. Don't melt it. You just add it.
I bet that's amazing.
But you know that we're doing dinners until 6, so you're welcome to come in and pick one up.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Let me sit that to the side. I will plate it up in a minute.
Plate it up. I can do that.
Okay. Now, let me show you the fun part. The puttanesca sauce, like I say, it's a really simple sauce. The hardest part is making your base sauce. And the marinara, I just showed you how the ingredients for it, but I already have some made. So I'm going to go ahead and whip up some puttanesca for you real quick and tell me what you think.
Nice.
So the heat. Once again, we'll start off with the red jalapeno olive oil.
So the way that you're using all of this heat, it's not a heat that's going to take over. It's a heat that's going to enhance the other flavors, it seems like.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
I love that idea. Whenever I see something spicy, I think, oh gosh, it's going to take over, and that's the only thing I'm going to be able to taste. But the way that you're using these products, I feel like they all come together.
Just an enhancer.
Yeah.
You add anchovies. Now, the thing about anchovies, people always say, oh, anchovies, that's a little strong. But once again, it's all about the flavor profiles. With the stuff that I'm adding it to, you won't even know that it's in there. It's just an enhancer. So I put like maybe a couple in there, olive oil.
Nice. I'm a fan of anchovies. I don't know why they get such a bad rap, but that's me.
Yeah, I get to do the fun part.
Oh, are you tasting? No fair.
Can you see?
We can see. Oh, you get to
Isn't
be
it
the
gorgeous? Plain white plate. That's it.
Perfect.
Yummy.
And you want to add, once again, that fresh garlic. It's key to life.
I mean, this is basically health food because you've got the olive oil, which is really good for the heart, for the body. You've got the garlic, also really good for the heart. I mean, we are keeping your cardio health in consideration, people. You're welcome.
A little bit of fresh garlic. Let that brown a little bit. While that's going, you want to add some capers. Some red pepper flakes.
Ah,
And then on top of the red pepper flakes, now it's time for the ghost pepper sauce.
Ooh, oh, the ghost pepper.
Smells amazing.
Ooh, wow. So the ghost pepper salt is going into the puttanesca.
Yes.
Woohoo! And somebody asked the same question that was going through my head, and I'm really glad that somebody gave me the reason to ask because I thought it was just me. What's the difference between if I'm chopping fresh garlic? We know that there's a difference, but is there a huge difference between chopping fresh garlic and getting that chopped garlic that's in the jar in the stores?
The difference would be in the timing and the enzymes that are actually in the garlic that are actually what's good for you. If you do it fresh yourself, right before you make the meal, you get the most of it that you possibly can. Whereas if you get something that's been sitting on the shelf or that's been previously done, it's still good for you. It's just not quite. And it's, once again, for me, it's just the satisfaction of doing it yourself. Like, you know exactly how much you want to put in there. There's something about getting your hands dirty. You know what I mean? All right. So let that sauce get a little hot. Smells amazing.
Oh, no fair. That's not nice.
Well, once again, like I said, you're welcome to come in and pick up one. And then you can do any kind of pasta that you want, but I think that linguine, spaghetti, probably hot cold sauce better. Like angel hair works fine also, but sometimes it can get a little clumpy if you're not careful with how you cook it and if you overcook it. But spaghetti and linguine tend to let the sauce cling to it, which is really what you want.
Nice.
With this amazing sauce.
So you're putting the spaghetti into the puttanesca right now.
Uh-huh.
And cooking it all together. I've always wondered if people do that. Okay. So guys, what's great about this is he's making the bruschetta, he's making the chicken, he's making the puttanesca with the spaghetti. You can do these separately, or you could put them all together into a fantastic happy birthday Lincoln birthday dinner, or whatever other holidays happening this weekend dinner for you and possibly somebody else. So you can use this at any point. You can separate it out, so you're doing one of the 3 items, or you can do all of them back to back, because as Chef Kyle's doing, he's showing you that everything can be in the same temperature oven. He's showing you how to balance everything out so that you aren't running around the kitchen like a crazy person, which is quite often how I end up doing it, but probably not professional.
Here's my phone.
Now, to top this off, normally I would use either calamatas or black olives, but today, because I was provided the jalapeno stuffed olives, I'm going with those.
Garlic jalapeno stuffed olives from Pasolivo. Something that you could put into a martini, something you can eat out of the jar, but also something you can add to some really great dishes too.
I will put 2 on there.
Oh, I love how you piled all of the spaghetti on top. That looks so inviting.
If you want, you can add cheese to it, Parmesan, but I think like it's perfect just like this.
Oh, it looks
Really fresh, really refreshing.
And that is just heart food right there. That is just gonna make you feel loved right there.
That's what it's all about.
Go out, go on a hike, enjoy our beautiful outdoors, and then come in and create something like that. Feed your soul, feed yourself.
And then through the magic of Instagram, we have our polo rosto, the chicken thighs.
You put all kinds of goodness on top of these chicken thighs, but you didn't. You just kind of did some olive oil, garlic, some Sriracha salt. I mean, you've put a whole bunch of goodness on there, and then you just put it into the oven. You backed away. You didn't stir it. You're not messing with it. Like you said, not half as intimidating as I thought it would be.
That's what I was saying. It sounds like a lot more than what it is. It's really good. Now, just to add to it, get a little fresh flavor. I'll add a little basil to the top. Not a whole lot, but just something to kind of give you a little color, give you that fresh flavor on top of that roasted, and there you have it.
Oh, that looks amazing. And for those of you guys watching right now live, the comments won't be there for the long term once we put this onto Instagram or onto our Facebook or onto our YouTube. And I know the comments right now are blocking all the goodness. So, or I mean, you can see it through the comments, but afterwards they won't be there. So you'll be able to get a better look at all of this goodness. But it's coming towards us, so that's even better. So you've got the chicken, you've got the pasta, you've got the bruschetta. I mean, look at that. That is a fantastic meal that was just pulled together. The chicken was going to take, the chicken takes, you said 30 minutes, is that it?
35 to 40, somewhere in there.
All right, so this whole thing can be pulled together because the chicken's going to be the last thing that comes out, correct?
Yeah, yes.
You're done in less than an hour creating something this kind of amazing. That's pretty cool. So, guys, I feel like this is something that you can do at home. Let us know if you guys do this at home. Take pictures of it. Definitely, if you need the recipe, it's going to be on our website as usual. The bundle is going to be on our website. So you can kind of rewatch this and have that and follow along so that you can recreate this goodness in your own house. Okay, so who gets all of that now? Who gets that?
Well, if you're coming to get it, we'll have it boxed up ready for you.
I feel like Amy's kind of in the background there. Totally. When you said you had the good job, I figured you were just gonna really rub it in and show us you eating it. I was like, well, there you go.
We have been sampling for the last like 4 hours. He's like, try this, try that one. Thank you, Papa. Jimmy ate a plate full this big. And that's his dinner before he died on his deathbed. He said, this is what I want.
Oh, my God.
We're so fortunate to have Kyle join us here. He is just a huge asset. He brings so much expertise and flavor blending, as you see, and simplicity to these restaurant dishes that we could do at home and without a lot of effort. I mean, it looks like it's a lot of effort, but once you do it once or twice, it's like, oh. And Kyle makes it look so easy.
I mean, yeah, I'm thrilled that you guys have him there. How is that going to look? What are your open times? I know everything's kind of up in the air. So for right now, what is it looking like?
We actually haven't changed since we opened right in the middle of COVID. So we are strictly takeout, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Wednesdays and Fridays, Kyle and Jamie create these incredible dinners. So tonight is Kyle's night to do this whole meal on his own, and he does dinners on Wednesday. So we're open till 6 on Wednesday and Friday. We usually ask you to pre-order by like today at 10 o'clock in the morning, but a lot of people forget. And we actually still are taking orders for this dinner. So if you want to come down, we'll be here till 6. Call us, and we'll put one aside. It also is finishing up with La Migliore Tiramisu.
Ooh.
So,
What? That would pair up beautifully with this meal.
Yes.
That all comes together. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you get all of this beautiful food and dessert for $21.95.
Well, now nobody's going to make it at home.
So once it's started, just check in, and Kyle will be creating something amazing, and we are thrilled to have the products to use today because they're so special and so unusual. The salts, and they're not hot. I tasted all of them alone, and I'm afraid of hot as well.
Yeah.
And they're incredible.
They are. I was a little tentative to try them, and then I'm like, oh, I can totally see. I mean, I put the sriracha salt on cream cheese on a bagel. Like it's everywhere in my life. So, scrambled eggs, but yeah.
I was dipping chocolate strawberries with my machine in the back, and we were going to sprinkle some of that on the chocolate.
Yeah. Oh, that's genius. See, why you gotta one-up me? I put it on a bagel, and you guys gotta one-up me. Go figure. So you said pre-order. What does that look like? Is that online? Is that calling? How do people see your menu?
Yeah, we're not quite to the online thing yet. We're just in our 7th month, as you know, and you can just call, kind of the old-fashioned way. Call us, come on in and see us. Easiest way is just to call.
Okay, and then you can call up and say, okay, what's on the menu tonight, or what are we looking at, and you'll let us know.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Well,
we did post it on our Instagram and Facebook page ahead of time. So usually, if I can get him nailed down and what he's making, I can post it like 3 days ahead.
I feel like no matter what, it's going to be good. I mean, I think that's a viable gamble to just say, I'm going to take whatever's on Wednesday, and I think everybody would be happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that seems like a delicious Russian roulette that I will totally take.
Yeah. It's
all right. So follow you guys, Amy and Jamie's Place on Instagram. And then you guys are on Facebook. You guys, if you're watching everybody right now, then you can see that we'll be tagging them when we put this post up so that you can have a little link to them as well. They're amazing. We worked with them in August when we thought this was just a little passing phase. And they make smoothies with our lemon olive oil and their veggie pods. So if you haven't watched that, you can go ahead and go onto our YouTube and search for that one, because you can watch that too. Because yeah, olive oil in smoothies, it's like perfectly healthy and yummy. And we got a tour of the store at that point too, so you can take a look at that. So we are well connected and good friends with you guys, and we are so glad that you are still kicking and doing your thing, because it's a testament to how wonderful you are that you've been able to open during COVID and stay open during COVID. So yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
We're all working really hard, and just to put out really beautiful food out of a little space right here near the hospital, and we feel very grateful that we're able to produce really great food with very small ingredient panels. So with no preservatives, just fresh local food.
Yeah, I do love the fact you stay local and you stay really healthy, which I appreciate a lot. And I think that's kind of the Central Coast way, because we are just such this area full of great produce, great meats, great everything. So why would we go anywhere else? We've got some good stuff right at our fingertips. So covering what we covered today, we did the red jalapeno olive oil, guys, the chimichurri seasoning, the ghost pepper, and the sriracha pepper sea salt. All right, there we go. Yes, these labels are going to be backwards because Instagram's fun that way. So just take my word for it. That's what I'm holding up. Yours is going to look similar, but flipped. And then the garlic jalapeno.
Oh, yeah.
All of those.
Bloody Marys.
Yeah, and kudos for not just eating them out of the jar and being like, we're out, sorry, because that's exactly what happens with my olives when I bring them home. Like, where were you?
I know, and that's like something you would never think about, like chopping them and putting them over pasta.
I love that. I love the mouthfeel that comes with the olive. It's got a nice creaminess to it, but it's completely different from anything else that you're going to find in a nice pasta sauce. So I just love that nice surprise that's added into it. Yeah. Chef Kyle, thank you so much for your time today. You're amazing. Your passion and your ideas. Yeah, we, the Central Coast, are lucky to have you. Amy and Jamie are definitely lucky to have you. So sounds like the comments are flying through and saying they'll be there soon. People are like, oh, okay, so after this, you'll probably All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be able to do another show at some point with you guys. Let's keep this going.
Hey, yeah. Wednesdays or Fridays.
Yep. And we're here every Friday. So
all right.
we're here for you. We'll be here for all of COVID and then some, apparently. Whatever that looks like. All right, guys, I'm going to talk about next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody, go look at them on Instagram and go find them in Templeton. It's a really cute little spot, so go find them.
Thank you for always including us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So for next week, we are working with Danica Gordon, who is the owner of Vivant Cheeses. If you are a local, you know Vivant Cheeses. You know them because they have provided cheeses to different wineries and cheese plates and platters to different wineries. You know them because they have amazing cheeses and all the bits and pieces that you can pull together for a charcuterie board, which is why we are pairing up with them and with Danica, because she's going to show us how to pull together the best charcuterie board that you can put together. So she's going to be using from our bundles. She's using our lemon olive oil. She's using our Dolce garlic mustard. And I'm so excited that we're bringing in more and more food items like the olives, like the mustards, like last week with that hot pepper berry bacon jam in a salad. Casa Voltrano olives. my favorites. If you're gonna ask me, we've got 6 different types. Castelvetrano is definitely my favorite. They do have a pit in them, so it'll be interesting to see how she sets that up for us on a board. This guy, the dolce garlic and the lemon olive oil, will be on a charcuterie board next week, 2 o'clock, February 19th. So I'm excited to have you guys do the cooking like Chef Kyle did. Take pictures, post them, tag us. We always love seeing what you guys are making with our stuff. All of that good food porn you guys post, I'm all about it. It gets us all thinking. So I think it's a team effort. You post what you're making, and that makes somebody else riff off that. So definitely looking forward to seeing you guys 2 o'clock next week as we build the perfect charcuterie plate or board. And what to pull together. Do I pull together grapes, raisins, fruits? What am I doing here? Meats? What are we doing? She will answer your questions. So if you have questions, this is a perfect time to write them down and come to us with the questions. Okay, guys? Have a fantastic Lincoln's birthday, President's Day, and yes, happy Valentine's Day. Love you guys. So I'll share the love this way. Love you guys. Take care of your hearts. Do some olive oil, and take care of those around you. Give them some love. Okay, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.